Let's cut to it. If you have been watching your hair fall out in the sink, if you've been seeing your edges disappearing or breakage piling up, this is not random. Most women think if I just find the right product, everything will be fixed. But if product alone was a solution, your hair would already be flourishing. So here's the truth. Hair loss starts beneath the surface. And in this video, I'm giving you 3 changes that you need to make if you want to stop hair loss. These are the same exact things I teach inside of my hair rehab course. And if you're new here, my name is Kendra, founder of 180 Hair and the creator of the 180 Method. The 180 Method is a holistic system for women over 40 to help them transform their hair from the inside out. With over 10 years of experience in herbalism, product development, holistic wellness, I've helped thousands of women regrow and restore their hair health without toxic chemicals, without false promises or quick fix gimmicks. And now I'm going to help you do the same. So let's start from the inside, because your scalp cannot grow healthy, strong hair if your body is running on empty. If you're not eating enough key things like protein, iron, and key vitamins, it's kind of like building a house with no bricks, okay? Look for these red flags. These will be things like constant shedding, which means it could be an indication of low iron, dull, weak hair, which might mean that you need more protein. And then if you have a dry, itchy scalp, you may be lacking healthy fats and or vitamin D. Now, some simple things that you could try to offset these issues: add dark leafy green vegetables to your meals or to your smoothies. Eat eggs unless you are a vegan, of course, lentils or salmon. All of these things are high in the nutrients that your hair needs to thrive. Okay. You can also snack on things like walnuts, sunflower seeds to get your omega-3s, and then take a high quality supplement if your diet is lacking in any of these areas. And just a quick personal story. When I started adding iron rich foods into my diet, I didn't just feel better, my hair started to act right as well. So you can't oil out a nutrient deficiency. That means that you can't buy all of the hair growth oils because you think those are going to make your hair grow. We got to start from the inside, okay? Oils and all those things are great because they do add some nutrients externally, but the internal nutrients is what's going to make the most difference. But even if your nutrition is on point, your hair can still snap and break if you miss the next one. All right, so let's talk about what's really going on when we think our hair is shedding. It's often breakage, okay? Sometimes we get the two confused. So here's a quick check. If your hair feels like straw, it probably needs more moisture. If it feels soft, but it snaps, it may be over moisturized, because yes, that is a thing, and it probably needs more protein, okay? So if your hair stretches and breaks, your elasticity is off balance. I'm gonna give you some quick ways to correct that. You can deep condition every wash day. So I'm not saying you need to wash your hair every day, but every time you shampoo or do your wash day routine, you need to add a deep conditioning step into that. This is your non-negotiable, okay? Use a leave-in water-based spray, okay? And then after you use that, you want to seal that moisture in with a lightweight oil, always, okay? And then you can alternate between protein and moisture. So a lot of times we think that our hair needs protein, our hair needs protein. Too much protein can give your hair that straw or hard-like feeling, and then your hair ends up breaking, and then you have too much protein, okay? So use your best judgment based on your hair's behavior. Again, if your hair feels hard or crispy like straw, it probably has enough protein, more than it needs. We need to focus on doing more moisture, and then vice versa. If your hair feels like it's mushy or it's still kind of breaking, even though it feels like it's moisturized, you may need to switch to a protein treatment every other wash day. Whatever your routine is, you also need to make sure you are keeping track of how often you're using protein, because if you are using those too closely back to back and your hair really doesn't need it, you could potentially create more problems. And then, of course, hydrate from the inside, friend. Water is not optional, okay? It is essential. So make sure you are drinking at least half your body weight in ounces. I say this all the time. If you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water minimum, okay? And that's just not for your hair, but your vital organs, your body. We're made up of mostly water. You need to make sure that you are replenishing that daily. Okay, now we're getting to the real MVP of hair health. This next one, if you ignore it, none of the other ones will matter. Now, your scalp is where everything begins. Your scalp is your hair's soil. You can't grow anything in dirt or soil that's dry or toxic. It just will not work. So here are some key things you need to look for. If your scalp is itchy or flaky or irritated, it's inflamed. If it's oily or gunky and has lots of buildup, it's suffocating. It can't breathe. If it's sore or tender, it's crying out for help. And so here are some things that you can do for your scalp health. Wash regularly. And we want to make sure we are not just focusing on our hair when we shampoo, but we want to make sure we're getting into that scalp. All right. Because a dirty scalp equals blocked follicles. And if your follicles are blocked, your hair cannot properly grow through. We also want to do things like scalp massages. This is something that is very underrated. People don't do it enough, but that helps to get the blood flowing. Okay. We want to make sure we're doing that. And then switching to light oils like a rosemary oil or a pumpkin seed oil, or even my soothing scalp oil, which you can find linked below. These are all great options for oils when it comes to helping to not only massage your scalp, but to provide nourishment and things that will help to stimulate growth, okay? Use a scalp brush or a vibrating massager. If your hands are tired or if you like wearing your nails really long, because remember, we want to massage our scalp with the pads of our fingers, not with our nails, okay? We should not be digging our nails into our scalp. We want to make this a gentle experience. Okay, so here's a little bit of simple science. Your follicles need oxygen, nutrients, and a clean environment in order to thrive, in order to grow healthy hair. It needs those three things: oxygen, nutrients, and a clean environment, all right? Inflammation and buildup and these types of things can interrupt the growth cycle and shorten your anagen phase. Okay, the anagen phase is the time that your hair spends growing. This is the longest part of our hair growth cycle. And we want to make sure to maximize that cycle as best we can to make it as long as possible and to make the hair grow as healthy as possible when it's in that cycle. Now, a clean and nourished scalp is going to be your best shot at long-term hair growth. So let's recap the three biggest changes that you can make right now to stop further hair loss. The first thing is we want to focus on scalp health. Okay, this is your foundation. This is when you're building the house. The first thing you focus on is that foundation. If the foundation isn't strong, the house is not going to stand very long. It's going to be wobbly, or whatever houses do when the foundation isn't strong. Think of your scalp like that. All right. You want to master your moisture balance. Breakage is sneaky. Okay, your hair can feel like it's moisturized, but it's still breaking. Remember, that's a sign that you probably need more protein. Your hair strands are made up of mostly protein. So if they are not getting that, they tend to break easy. All right. And then upgrade your nutrition. So your hair cannot grow without fuel, just like your gas. Just like your car cannot drive without gas. I know that's probably a corny analogy, but you get what I'm saying. You need to upgrade your nutrition. If your hair health is important to you, if you use all the products and it seems like nothing is working, try nutrition. Most of the time, we are deficient in vital minerals, nutrients, and we need to make sure that we're getting those things through our food first. Food first. And then we can supplement with other things in addition to that. Now, once you have done those things, you're working on stopping your shedding and breakage, and you're working on your scalp health, and you're doing all those things. The next step is to extend your anagen phase. That's the phase where your hair is actually growing. Okay. That is where the real magic happens. And yes, I can teach you exactly how to do that inside my hair rehab course. So if this video is hitting home and it sounds like something that you could probably stand to start doing, all right, and you're thinking, okay, this makes sense, but I need help actually putting these things into practice, guess what? I got you, as always. Inside the hair rehab course, I'll show you how to assess your unique scalp and hair needs, because for everybody it's different, I promise you. I also teach you how to build your routine based on your hair's needs and based on your goals, and then how to finally get off the product hopping roller coaster, because I understand when we don't know what our hair needs, we don't know what to buy. We don't know what ingredients to look for. We don't know what our routine should look like. And that's okay. If you don't know, you don't know, but it doesn't mean you can't learn. And that's what I'm going to help you with inside the course. Now, if you're not ready for the full course, I understand it is an investment. You can check out my emergency hair care planner, which is also going to kind of help you build a routine based on your hair's needs. And it's the perfect low cost entry into my 180 method system. All right, you deserve more than random advice and another bottle of disappointment packaged with a pretty label. Okay, your hair needs the right support, the right habits, and the right system. You got this. You can totally do this. It is not as hard as it may seem. You just need to be guided through the process of getting it done right and specifically for your hair type and your hair needs. Okay, so if you're ready to get your hair together for real this time, check out the links below. I have links to some important videos that might be helpful to you, products and tips for your hair health journey, and also a link to my course, which is launching very soon. You can join the waitlist and get more information about that as well. Okay. Again, as always, you deserve hair that's healthy and growing. It's my mission to help you get there. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.